up, everybody? Welcome back to SGU Uncut. My name is Emily. I'm your host for this series, and we are in week 3 of Redirecting Route. And today I have a special guest with me, Tim. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's been a while since I've been here, and I honestly really missed it.
Yeah, we've missed you too. It's good to have you back. Can you tell us what has been the highlight of your week?
My sister got married. Well, that was actually 2 weeks ago. I was in Kansas for my girlfriend's best friend's wedding.
Wow,
and I rode a mechanical bull.
How long did you last?
15 seconds the first time, 19 seconds the second time. And there's video of me doing it. So if you want to see me fall and my legs go up like this,
maybe we'll send it out.
Yeah.
Get it around.
It's funny, so yeah.
Like I said, this is week 3 of Redirecting Route. Week 1, we talked about unspoken expectations and how when we left things unsaid, we can get hurt because we're not open with how we need our relationships to be, what's healthy for us. Week 2, we talked about unrealistic expectations. We had Christina here, and unrealistic expectations, that's a mouthful of a word. Saying that over and over again, it gets me. But those unrealistic expectations, they're unhealthy too because they're out of our reach. They're not meant for us. And today, week 3, we're talking about wrong expectations. Sometimes they're just flat out wrong. Tim, what's a wrong expectation you have had in your past?
My constant wrong expectations are that I should be as perfect as possible.
Perfectionism.
I am a big perfectionist, and it tears me down every day. If it's, let's say I'm playing piano, whether it's for mass or it's for fun or if it's for my family, if I make a mistake or hit a wrong note, I get really down on myself for that. If things professionally are off or I'm not doing as good of a job as I should, I get very down about that. Yeah.
We can spiral with those thoughts too. They bring about hardship and hurt because they're not really meant for us. They're not serving us the way we need to be served. How do you think having wrong expectations can impact us? And have they impacted you in any way?
I mean, wrong expectations it just puts us in a hole. We're just setting ourselves up for failure. If your expectation is like mine, if you expect to be perfect with everything, you're going to set yourself up for failure. You need to sort of set yourself up as an average person, not in a bad way, but, you're average. It's okay if you do well. It's okay if you do bad. If your expectation is being average, then if you exceed that expectation, fantastic, but if your expectation is always perfect, then it's just failure, essentially.
Right.
It's impacted me in horrible ways because just every day I get down about it. If I'm not shooting my own expectation shooting for my own expectation that I want to, shoot for.
We can spiral in those thoughts of frustration, of self-judgment, even depression when it gets really bad.
All the time.
This life isn't going the way we want it to, and that's okay. What we want is not necessarily what God wants, and that's okay. And we're going to talk about that in the story in the Bible. There's the story of Lazarus and the rich man. The rich man had his whole earthly life figured out. He had the money, he had the houses, he had everything. While Lazarus was poor, he was sick, he had nothing in life. And they both passed away, and Lazarus went and stood by Abraham's side. He went to heaven because he served the Lord in his life while he was down here on earth. He didn't prioritize money and wealth. He prioritized his relationship with God, while the rich man did the opposite. He prioritized the monetary things. So the rich man was very confused. We're going to look at this passage in the Bible. He said to Abraham, "I don't understand. Why am I down here in hell? What did I do wrong?" And Abraham replied, "Son, remember that in your lifetime you received your good things, but Lazarus received bad things. But now he is comforted here, and you are in agony. Lazarus is comforted here in heaven. The rich man is in hell in agony," because he prioritized the wrong thing. He had the wrong expectations of what our life is really meant to do. Our life is meant to serve God. That's our expectation that, if we do good, if we keep our relationship with God strong, then we can go deeper. All our expectations are deeper than surface level. It's more than just what happens here in this world. Are there any expectations you have after hearing the story that you're evaluating that maybe aren't right?
For myself?
Yes.
My expectations for myself are always not right. If I want to name them, I have an expectation, I struggle with depression, anxiety, and I have a expectation that I should be perfect every day. And if I, struggle one day that, I get very down that, I was already having a bad day. Now that I had a bad day, I'm really down about that. And it's a bad cycle.
How do you think you can turn that expectation over to God and make it right?
Prayer. I think just talking with people, talking with God, going to Mass, trying to be present in the moment. I've been trying to practice meditation. I find that's a good way to sort of hand things over and calm the mind, let things go. I think that's a very positive thing.
Do you have any action plans for that? Any idea of how you're going to pursue that?
I mean, it's just daily experimenting, what works and what doesn't. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. We just have to find ways around it and find the support system that works for us.
Yeah, just committing to making those expectations right.
Right. Yeah, and you know, one of my favorite songs, it's "That's Life" by Frank Sinatra, and the whole song is about, you know, 1 month is bad, the next month is good, and the following month could be either or, and that's just life. That's how it is. And it's not a bad thing. You know, we should learn to appreciate those bad times.
The bad and the good. Appreciate it all.
Yeah.
They're all growing us towards who we're meant to be, where we're meant to go.
Right. And it's, again, we're not going to notice it now. Down the road, we can look back and then we can really analyze, oh, I see the purpose behind this. I see God's plan behind all this. I mean, we experience this all the time.
So it's a basic idea to have these wrong expectations, but they're normal to have. You know, we're human. We're going to interpret things the wrong way. We're going to expect the wrong things. But now we can use tools to evaluate them and to make them right, to align them with God's plan for us. So like Tim said, maybe it's through prayer, maybe it's through going to Mass, maybe it's through small group, talking about it with people, to figure out how are you going to make your wrong expectations right? What are you going to do to change them today? Tim, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks so much, Emily.
It's great having you on.
Thank you.
Yep, and we hope that our conversation here fuels your conversation in small group, and we'll see you next week.